violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, in school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Hours after the bodies of 3 young children were found inside an apartment in Merced County, deputies continue to investigate. The initial call for service was made to the LeGrand Apartments this afternoon, just after 2, after several neighbors walked into one of the units and found the bodies of the children. They also found a woman suffering from injuries. CBS 47's Juanita Adame has the latest.
Wow. So we got 3 kids found dead in an apartment. And this is in California, in the LA area. Got a lot of super gremlin demon time activity going on over there, okay? They call it the City of Angels, but nowadays it's looking more like the City of Demons.
Merced County deputies entered that apartment this afternoon. They say this will be a long and very difficult investigation. It was behind this red door, identified only by the letter A, at the LeGrand Apartments in the small town of LeGrand. That Daryl Allen, a deputy with the Merced County Sheriff's Office, said they made one of the most gruesome discoveries in their career.
And this right here is going to affect this town.
3 children, all under the age of 8 years old, found dead inside the apartment. A woman inside also suffering from what deputies believe were self-inflicted injuries.
Wow, so this woman is mentally ill, obviously. Killed her kids, then try to make it look like somehow that she was a victim. And I don't understand for the life of me why these women just don't give the kids up to maybe a family member or to a foster home or something. But this is crazy, bruh.
We're in contact with the family members to let them know what has happened. You know, this is a very stressful time for everybody, especially family members.
A welfare check was made at the apartment sometime after 2:30 Wednesday afternoon.
When we got out here, deputies responded to the area, started talking to people, and found 3 deceased juveniles inside one of the residents here.
Deputies are not giving many details since the investigation is in its early stages. They are, however, saying that the deaths of these 3 children will be felt throughout the small town and the county.
It's a farming community, you know, so everybody in this town, you know, they all go to the football games, they all go to the baseball games, we all go to the same school.
The identities of those children and that woman are not being released at this time. Reporting in Merced County, Juanita Adame, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
When you show up to a scene like that, it's heartbreaking, it's devastating.
Those children have now been identified. They were 8, 5,
Wow.
and just 3 years old.
8, 5, and 3. Look at these kids, man. That's horrible, bruh. That's horrible. Their own mother turned out to be a super gremlin.
Action News reporter Jessica Harrington joins us live in LeGrand with details on the arrest and what we're learning about those young kids. Jessica.
Well, good evening, both of you. We are definitely hearing that those children were very loving. They were found in an apartment at this complex here behind me. The 2 older ones went to school yesterday. The sheriff's office says they received the call just after 2 o'clock, and they believe it was the children's father who first discovered what happened. Toys, flowers, and candles sit outside of the LeGrand apartment where 3 young children were killed Wednesday.
Wow, so it looks like the father found the kids, and this to me looks like maybe there was a custody discrepancy, and a lot of women who feel some type of way about their baby's father, they want to hurt him. And the way that they hurt him is by hurting the kids or turning the kids against him. And in this case, killing the kids. But it's so crazy, the thought process of these women who end up turning on their own children.
Those children now identified as 8-year-old Anna, 5-year-old Mateo, and 3-year-old Alexa Ortiz Lara. The Merced County Sheriff's Office says during the investigation, it was determined their mother, 30-year-old Patricia Ortiz, took their lives before attempting to take her own.
She's been cooperative. She's spoken with the detectives. I don't know what the extent of those conversations are, but she has spoken to them.
The mother was taken to the hospital for her injuries and is expected to be booked into the Merced County Jail for 3 counts of murder. The sheriff's office says Patricia Ortiz is married, and they believe it was her husband, the children's father, who first discovered the crime scene.
Wow, man. Think about that. Being a father, you love your kids. Maybe you're going to pick them up because it's your time. It's your turn to have them. And mama just crashed out. She just went super demon time mode. Super gremlin tendencies went into full effect. Just a disgusting crime, man. And then she was trying to do it to herself. My thing is, for what?
Officials would not disclose the manner in which the children were killed, and investigators have not determined a motive. A longtime family friend says the children were all very loving. Anna, the oldest, was extremely kind and sang at church. Alexa, the youngest, was joyful with a beaming smile. And Mateo, the only boy, was protective of his sisters and loved to run around and play. Eduardo Martinez went to school with Mateo and said they were good friends.
What was your favorite thing about Mateo?
To play.
Eduardo's mother said she was familiar with the family, and the murders have hit the tight-knit town hard.
We didn't really talk very much, but we would see each other almost every day when we would drop off the kids. And they would play, like my son was saying.
Investigators say the 2 older children attended school Wednesday. LeGrand Union Elementary School is just yards away from the apartment complex where the murders happened. The superintendent of the school district sent out a statement saying, in part, our school community is heartbroken by this tragedy and we grieve for this enormous loss. Grief counselors were on campus to help provide support to students, staff, and parents Thursday. The Merced County Sheriff's Office says the investigation is ongoing. Family members have set up a GoFundMe account to help with funeral expenses. You can find a link to that on our website, abc30.com. Live in LeGrand, Jessica Harrington, ABC 30 Action News.
Tragic scene in the Fairfax district of Los Angeles. A woman killed today. The body found inside a store on La Brea Avenue. Jessica O is there tonight. She joins us now with more. A lot of questions here, Jessica.
Absolutely, Alex, and the people we are talking to just keep telling us that this kind of brutal crime really doesn't happen in a neighborhood like this.
I swear they say that. They say that in every video. Oh, it doesn't happen here. It doesn't happen here. When are people going to wake up and realize that it doesn't matter if it happens there. What matters is the people who are doing this, the super gremlins who are doing this, where they're at. That's all that matters.
This 24-year-old woman was killed while she was working at a furniture store. This is right next to a synagogue. This also happened in the middle of the day in broad daylight, and now police are still looking for that suspect.
So you know it was a super gremlin because it happened in broad daylight.
Detectives say 24-year-old Brianna Kupfer was working alone at the Croft House on North La Brea Avenue when she was brutally attacked and left to die in the middle of the day. Here she is pictured in her LinkedIn page.
To find out that there was a dead body 30 feet away is astounding.
Ari Goidry works right next to the furniture store.
When it happens like like right there, it's like, whoa, this is, I don't know, wake-up call or what?
It's very disturbing.
Police do not know the motive, if this could have been a robbery or if the suspect and victim knew one another. But the people who live nearby are heartbroken for the young woman from Pacific Palisades, especially after learning what happened.
Wow, man. And she was, you know, a beautiful young woman. Still had her whole life ahead of her. Still had her whole life ahead of her. So, now what?
Happened after she was killed.
She was found by a customer that came into the store after the fact and discovered her on the ground.
The suspect got away. Detectives say this is him wearing all black walking through an alley after leaving the store.
Wearing all black. I mean, you can't really tell. You can't really tell. Because he's covered up to the max. But look at how this man is walking. Just like nothing happened.
The fact that he's on the run from Pacific Palisades, especially after learning what happened after she was killed.
She was found by a customer that came into the store after the fact and discovered her on the ground.
The suspect got away. Detectives say this is him wearing all black walking through an alley after leaving the store. The fact that he's on the run, concerning for the people who live nearby.
There's always people walking up and down, so for it to happen here, it's extremely concerning.
Detectives say it's also very rare.
We have not had any violent crime occurring in this corridor.
There's generally no crime here whatsoever.
At this point, investigators are not saying how the victim was killed, only that they are continuing to search for the suspect. An unusual crime leaving neighbors with a shattered sense of safety.
A lot of the residents are on edge right now.
You feel like you can't walk outside even during the day.
Certainly frightening for this community. And tonight we learned that detectives have actually interviewed several people of interest. So far, no arrests have been made, and police are just really hoping that someone out there recognizes that suspect from the surveillance video. Reporting live at the Fairfax.
Ain't nobody finna recognize him. Unless he got that same fit on, it's a dub.
District tonight, I'm Jessica O, Fox 11 News.
I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Chuck Henry. The murder in Hancock Park happened right in the middle of the day, and investigators are still at the scene on La Brea near Beverly Boulevard. And so is our Ted Chen. Bring in Ted live right now. Ted, what have you learned about what happened here?
Colleen, Chuck, this comes as a shock not only to locals and businesses in the area, but also the LAPD, which says that this area of Hancock Park has not seen the rise in crime that we have seen in other parts of the city. In this case, a woman killed as she was working inside her own store. I'm going to step out of the way. And if you see where that white tent is, that is right in front of the store where this happened. And we want to show you the video now. Police say the victim was an employee inside the Croft House furniture store here in the 300 block of North La Brea. They say she was alone inside the store when the suspect attacked her. The call came in around 2 p.m. this afternoon, assault with a deadly weapon. It appears this woman was stabbed to death, her attacker, and we don't know so far whether they knew each other or not.
Wow, and maybe it's a begrudged boyfriend. Maybe somebody tried to holler at her on the street. She denied him. He got mad, but like he said, it looks and it appears to be very personal. It appears to be very personal, but also there really doesn't have to be a reason. I mean, we cover stories on this channel where super gremlins kill and there is no reason. It's just, you know, something that they're accustomed to doing, something that they enjoy doing. It's like like I said, a lot of these super gremlins take pride in catching bodies, especially the more gruesome it is. So it's very unfortunate that this happened to this woman, man. But I'll stay on this one and we'll figure out exactly what the motive is, if they're able to get some clues or find out about the guy who did this.
Ran away down an alley and another customer discovered the victim.
She was there by herself, and there was another person in there with her, the suspect, and she was attacked by that suspect and she was killed.
Not much information about that suspect at this point, except police say he was wearing a black hoodie and a white N95 type mask, skinny jeans, dark shoes, and carrying a backpack. Again, he was last seen going out of the store in the back and going northbound in that alley here in the area of Hancock Park, just north of Beverly, 300 block of La Brea. Reporting live from Hancock Park, Ted Chen, NBC4 News. Chuck, Colleen, back to you.
The suspect search is on tonight after a woman was killed while working at a high-end furniture store.
Well, now an investigation is underway into the assault-turned-murder in Hancock Park. It happened at the Croft store on North La Brea Avenue.
And that's where KCAL 9's Rick Montanez is live for us with the latest. Hey, Rick.
Hey, tonight investigators identified the victim as 24-year-old Brianna Kupfer. They say she was working down there at the store you see. That is the Croft House, where those LAPD officers are still standing guard right now. Investigators say she was working alone in that shop when the man went in, attacked, and killed her. Watch this newly released security video. This is believed to be the man who killed the 24-year-old victim, Brianna Kupfer. Police say she was alone at work inside Croft House, a boutique furniture shop on La Brea Avenue near Beverly Boulevard.
There was no one else inside the store, and she was discovered by another customer that came in after the fact.
LAPD says she was discovered around 2 Thursday afternoon. Police say the man who killed her walked out the back door through the alley toward Oakwood and La Brea.
We don't know what caused the attack or what the motivation was yet.
And hopefully there's some surveillance, some type of surveillance in the store. Although I bet that it's, very hard to watch. Hopefully they've got some more on this suspect.
Investigators are not sure at this point whether Kupfer knew the man who killed her. People who live, work, and worship nearby are angry over the fatal attack. Many shared their frustrations over the crime, but did not want to be interviewed. Police are urging them to be on alert.
Report any suspicious activity around their businesses in this area and to remain vigilant. As you saw, we have a mounted unit working, our officers on horses, where officers are patrolling.
The vicious attack happened just a few blocks south of the Melrose corridor, where last month there was a series of armed robberies. LAPD says until now, there wasn't much violence along this stretch of La Brea.
We have not had any violent crime occurring in this corridor as far as anybody being attacked or any of that.
So they keep saying that, and I'll just say, man, it's leaking out. It's leaking out from the inner cities, and it's coming to a town near you. So just understand that, and soon people are going to stop saying that, hey, we don't have violent crimes here. It's just going to be a normal thing, unfortunately.
A young woman attacked and killed on the job. Now police work to figure out why and catch the man who did it. Investigators also tell me they've collected security video from inside the shop. They're urging anyone with information about what happened out here to call LAPD immediately. Live in Hancock Park tonight, Rick Montanez, KCAL 9 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.